Good afternoon, everyone. This time, Singapore Grand Prix. Things are looking significantly different this time out when you're looking at the grid here as well. Looking forward to a very good race today. Reason being, we have Red Bull starting way back in the grid, outside the top 10. So they need to make their way up through the grid. Are they fast enough even this weekend to make their way up through the grid? Well, that's a question of all questions, and it's quite a tight circuit as well. So, yeah, we're starting off then with this guy on the screen, Mr. Sainz, Mr. Carlos Sainz in pole position again. So, yeah, I'm not wearing the Ferrari t-shirt today. Don't want to jinx it. That is not what we need at all. Actually, speaking of jinxing, I'm wearing the Mercedes. Mercedes, can you see that? Yeah, the Mercedes t-shirt today. Don't want to jinx them at all, but I think George Russell is in with a very good chance here as well. He's in with a great chance of winning today. Great chance indeed. Just keeping an eye on everything that's going on. Oh, we already have a team radio for Zhou Guan Yu.
The cable is getting stuck a little bit like last year. Make sure we can get it fixed.
Copy, Joe, we will fix.
Alrighty, no idea what cable they're talking about. Maybe it's something to do with communications or the water. That would be the straw. No idea at all. Right. Where do we need to go from here? Just waiting for them to come around and start the race here. So they're not even on the formation lap yet from what I can see. Grid though. Grid is what I want to show us all. Let's have a look at that. Stroll is apparently starting in 20th, but we've had confirmation that Lance Stroll won't be starting today's race. And that's because of knocks he picked up during the huge crash during qualifying yesterday. Talk about dramatic. There had been no crashes all weekend in the first three qualifying sessions, in the first three practice sessions. And then, of course, we got to qualifying where, you amp it up a little bit. Everybody's taking it much more seriously. And, yeah, Stroll just got it wrong coming into the final corner. And he hit that wall very, very hard. Now, he appears to be absolutely fine, but he has cited a mutual decision between himself and the team saying that he would not race today because of the knocks he picked up during qualifying yesterday. So clearly he's been somewhat rattled. There's a whole debate to be had about whether or not he should be still in Formula One. Maybe we can get into that later during a boring section of the race. If there are boring sections of the race, then there may be no boring section. That would be great. All right, so that means Zhou is starting in 19th and last place. Sargeant is starting in 18th. Then we have Piastri at 17th, Bottas 16th, Tsunoda 15th, Albon 14th, Perez 13th, Gasly 12th, Verstappen 11th, Lawson 10th, Hülkenberg in 9th, Ocon in 8th, Alonso 7th, Magnussen 6th, Hamilton 5th, Norris 4th, Leclerc 3rd, Russell in 2nd, and Sainz in 1st. And you know what I find really fascinating about all of this? Sainz and Russell. Because usually you'd see Leclerc and Hamilton ahead of their teammate. But no. Sainz has really been putting the battle up to his teammate this year. And actually, if we look at the points table, 117 points for Carlos Sainz so far this year, 111 for Leclerc. So 6 points in the difference, even in the Drivers' Championship. Sainz is beating his teammate this year. He's been much better. He hasn't been making as many silly mistakes. He hasn't had the same reliability issues that he's had over the last couple of years. So that all bodes very well for Sainz. Talk about jinxing a driver before the race has started. They're about to get off now on the formation lap. What I would like to look at as well is two things. Firstly, the pit stops. It looks like it's going to be a one-stopper strategy today. And I was about to say we need to check if any of the cars are going to start on a soft tire because those cars potentially have a two-stopper today. Okay, two-stopper is possible. I was fully expecting to look up and see Verstappen starting on a soft tire, but he's not. It's very mixed, and we'll get into that in a second. Anne says, welcome back. Looking forward to a good one today. Welcome back to you too, Anne. And indeed, yeah, looking forward to a very good one today. Very good. It's nicely mixed up. Even having, as I said, even having Hamilton back there a little bit and having Leclerc back a little bit from the front, that's going to mix it up. And then the Red Bulls, do they have any race pace at all? That's the question. Any race pace at all? I don't know. Time will tell. Yes, it shall indeed. Okay, yeah. Formation lap is underway now, so we're getting ready to go soon enough. All right, so we're not broadcasting on Facebook today because of issues I had last time out. So I got a slap on the wrist for copyright last time. But for the life of me, I have no idea what I have been presenting on this stream that's copyrighted. Maybe it's the team radios. That would be a bit of a stretch. It's all freely and publicly available. So I'm not going to risk it today, but it does mean I need to get onto the Facebook page and share a link to this stream, if I can think of it. The cars look fantastic under the lights as well, don't they? They really do. Do the darker or brighter cars look better under the lights? That's the question, because you see, McLaren have certainly gone for a darker livery this weekend. Much darker livery. Right, sure. Let me see. Oh, this feels very manual. All right, I've copied the link, and oh gosh, then I need to log into Facebook. Oh, this has not been well thought through. They're still on their formation lap. Don't worry. I'm not sure if Singapore is going to be the longest race of the year this year, because they've gotten rid of one of the chicanes in there just because of the construction work that's going on. But traditionally, this is the longest race of the season in terms of racing distance. Not because of rain or anything else like that. Rain actually very unusual in Singapore. I think we had a wet race last year, wasn't it? And as long as we do not have Crashgate again, that's all we need to avoid. Tell you, the drama from that is still ongoing. 2008, how many years ago was that? 15 years at least. 15 years at least. All right, they've just pulled around now. We're getting ready to go here. All right, off they go. Looks like a good start from Sainz here. A very good start as well from Leclerc. He might actually get second place. Oh, at least the Ferraris didn't crash into the first corner. Oh, there's Hamilton. You can't do that, Hamilton. That's a big shortcut. He must be in second place. He's going to have to give that back. He just got pushed wide by his teammate by the looks of it there. Wouldn't be attributing blame to that. But Hamilton's held on to the position here. He hasn't given it back to Russell. Now he has given second place back. There's the sparks. This is awesome. I love this. This circuit looks so great because it's a nighttime circuit. The sparks. Look at all the sparks coming up from the backs of the cars there. Brilliant. Norris looks like he's held on to 5th place. Yes, he has. Yeah, Russell has apparently asked already to be let past him. This might be it. Let's have a listen into this.
So you're going to let me back past, or?
No, he's not going to let you back past by the looks of it, as it stands at the moment. I knew I was wearing the Mercedes t-shirt today for a reason. There you go. Good old elbows out battle there between the Mercedes drivers. Actually, Leclerc now he's a second behind his teammate at the moment. So we'll watch that DRS range. Of course, DRS is not active, not just yet. So Leclerc started on the soft tyre. Most cars have started on medium tyres. We have a yellow flag. Yellow flag. Who is in trouble? Oh, there's a green flag again. Maybe nobody. Maybe nobody. Ah, yellow flag is back out again. Yeah, there's definitely somebody in trouble. I'm looking at the tracker. I'm not seeing any car running particularly. Is that Sonoda? Sonoda has stopped. It's not showing on the tracker that he's stopped. Yeah, the Formula 1 feed is showing us something totally different here than the tracker I have on screen at the moment. So the tracker I have on screen at the moment, is it showing Sonoda? Yeah, Sonoda's definitely, he's out of the car. He's out of the car. Actually, he's not on our tracker because he's classified as out of the race. He's in 19th. He's grayed out here. Did he get onto a service road maybe? That might just about explain what's going on here. Possibly. Perhaps. Okay, Russell got back past Hamilton, so they must have let him through. They've let him back through. Okay, important. Very, 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 very important. Very important. Norris is also saying that Lewis needs to give the position back. I haven't seen a replay of it yet. They'll show us plenty of replays at the start. They usually do. I think he has a point here. He has a point. Lewis just completely overshot. Was it the second corner? And he just went straight on and got past so many cars in doing that. I was saying that Hamilton was in fifth, or Norris was in fifth. Hamilton might have been ahead of him already. We're going to need to see a replay of this one, I'm afraid. Because I can't call it. Fastest lap for Russell at 141.1. 141.3, 141.3 from both of the Ferraris last time around. The gap between the Ferraris now is 1.3 seconds. Oh, it's down to 1.1 seconds. DRS isn't enabled just yet. Turn 2 incident involving Hamilton noted, leaving the track and gaining an advantage. Oh, I tell you, Lewis, like seriously, it's a bit early in the day now for you to be getting penalties. Verstappen now. Verstappen on Magnussen. This is for 8th place. Oh, Magnussen's not giving him a look in. I'd forgotten about the Red Bulls, believe it or not. Completely forgotten about those guys. Yes, I had indeed. Nope, no way through for Verstappen there. And this is a circuit where they're going to struggle a little bit. This isn't so easy actually now for the Red Bulls. It's a tight street circuit. Fastest lap for Sainz, and immediately the fastest lap for Leclerc. Leclerc, of course, is on the soft tires. I might give you a rundown of the tires at any stage now. There's so much going on track at the moment. But I'll try to make it my priority at some point to get into the tires if I can find them. They're not showing up. Oh yeah, they're showing up on the race stream. Yeah, back on board here with Verstappen as he's going to try and get past Magnussen here. He's in Haas sandwich, believe it or not. Haas sandwich, with some Red Bull in the center. Sounds disgusting. So Verstappen versus Magnussen. No. And actually Magnussen is only a second behind Ocon. So this is going to be tough now for Verstappen. But he's done it right from the start. He's already up into 9th place. Already into 9th place. Kimmy says hello. Is it Kimmy or Kimi? I don't know. I'm always saying it wrong if it's not Kimmy. Hello, good to be here. Poor Yuki. I swear that if he didn't have bad luck, he'd have no luck at all. Well, firstly, yes, very welcome. Great to have you back on the channel, on the stream. I think if I remember correctly, you're joining us from Australia, so late one again for you, although 1 hour earlier than the last few races, so I don't know if that's any consolation whatsoever. Yuki's form has fallen off a cliff since Liam Lawson has joined the team, so it actually, it perpetuates the situation, because I feel that Liam Lawson, he has been performing very well, don't get me wrong, but his performances have looked so much better when he's been beating his teammate. And this is Yuki Tsunoda, who had been beating his teammate previous to that, Nick De Vries, hand over fist, basically. And it's too tight between himself and Ricciardo to call it, because Ricciardo has only basically been there for two races. Here's Tsunoda now. Not sure what he's saying is the issue. Lost power by the looks of it, perhaps. No further investigation then for Hamilton for leaving the track. Yeah, there's a replay of Russell getting back past Hamilton. Back on board here, replay with Verstappen. Still stuck behind Magnussen. Oh, dives down the inside. Oh, that wasn't Magnussen. That was his move on Hülkenberg. That was the much earlier move on Hülkenberg. It was nice. That was risky though, but he has to take. He can afford to take some risks. Let's be honest here. Let's be honest. By the way, my predictions for today's race. I hate to break a good thing. My prediction is Max Verstappen to win the race. This is going to be his toughest race. Believe me, this is going to be his toughest race. But I am predicting that he can do it. Like, if Max Verstappen wins this race, he is a legend. Seriously, if he wins this race, can you believe it? So it's worth a punt as far as I'm concerned. Who do I have in then as my wish for the race? Well, it's Leclerc, and Leclerc is in DRS range of his teammate at the moment, 0.7 of a second. And my dark horse is Lando Norris. So Lando Norris is running in fourth at the moment. He's running in fourth, so he got ahead of Hamilton. Did Hamilton let him through, and that's why there's no further investigation required? That's possible, I guess. That's possible. I need to pay a bit more attention to the race, I think. Okay, so FIA stewards. Turn 2 incident involving car 44 Hamilton. Reviewed, no further investigation, leaving the track and gaining an advantage. So clearly they have decided he didn't gain an advantage, or he's given back that advantage. And then here's the Yuki Tsunoda team radio.
I have puncture, I think. Yeah, Perez just Perez, honestly.
Puncture? You wouldn't retire from the race for a puncture unless you had damage to the wishbone or something like that, the suspension. Magnussen he's driving the widest Haas in the world at the moment, and look at the car placement. Actually, he's not even clipping the corners, he's just going down right in the middle of the corners. Verstappen is going to have to work hard to get this position back here. This isn't an easy one for him at all. He's trying it now though, he's trying it, and yes, he got it. He's got it. So that's Verstappen then up into 8th place. 8th place for Max Verstappen. Let's do a rundown. So Tsunoda is out of the race, unfortunately. Stroll, of course, didn't start the race either. We have Guan Yu Zhou 18th, Bottas 17th, Sargeant 16th, Albon 15th, Piastri 14th, Perez still stuck in 13th place. Lawson 12th, Gasly 11th, Hülkenberg 10th. Piastri has just gotten past Perez as well. Or not. No, Perez is back past Piastri. Oh, I tell you what. Okay. Perez 13th, Lawson 12th, Gasly 11th, Hülkenberg 10th, Magnussen 9th, Verstappen is in 8th, Ocon 7th, Alonso 6th, Hamilton 5th, Norris 4th, Russell 3rd, Leclerc 2nd, and Sainz is in 1st place. And let's talk tyres. Because I think this is actually fascinating, and this could have a huge bearing on the race as well. We have Zhou and Bottas at the back are both on the hard tyre. The majority of cars, by the way, are running on medium, so if I don't mention them, assume they're on the medium. Then Perez in 13th place is running on the hard tyre. Verstappen in 8th place, also on the hard tyre. So the Red Bulls and the Alfa Romeos have all opted for the hard tyre. And then the only other car running on a different tyre is Leclerc, who started on a soft tyre. So, yeah. So, Cheeky Lottie says hello. Hello, Cheeky Lottie. How are you? Welcome to the channel. Who are you going for in the race today, Cheeky Lottie? Do tell us. Sainz and Leclerc now, the gap is 9/10 of a second, so that DRS range, it's still there. We had such a great battle between the Ferraris in the last race. Yeah, it was brilliant. I just would imagine that Ferrari don't want them battling like that in every single race, because there's a real chance they could be battling like that again today. And this is a street circuit. One little mistake, there's no runoff areas or anything like that. One little mistake and you are toast. Now, Alex Albon, team radio for Williams.
As soon as you get within half a second, it's incredible how little fun we have.
How little fun we have, indeed. Okay, let's have a look at the lap times. 140.1, a 140.2, a 140.2, a 139.9 for Norris, and a 139.9 for Hamilton. Hamilton and Norris running faster than the leaders at the moment. Alonso's a 140.7, so he's a bit slower than everybody else. Ocon same, and Verstappen is a little bit faster than that, but I'm guessing Verstappen has traffic. Yes, indeed. But the good news is Sainz is your race leader, and Carlos Sainz has led the most laps outside of Red Bull this season. There you go. Never thought I'd be saying that one. Well, that was true from the last race, and he's just compounding it a little bit now. Who's getting interest on his return? There's Alonso, of course, the only Aston Martin running in the race today. And yeah, fascinated by this battle here between Hamilton and Norris. It's just over 1 second at the moment, the gap between them. Russell, by the way, is running 1.8 seconds behind Leclerc, so that's in third place. And then Norris is a further 1.3 seconds behind Russell. Tight enough, but not quite in the DRS range. Not quite. Okay. Rightio. Let me see if there's anything else I can do here. Checking in on this. Destinations. Yeah, Leclerc really keeping in touch with his teammate there. Really keeping in touch with his teammate. So we got it. We got it. Do let me know about the background graphics, by the way, if they are an issue for anybody. I keep changing them up from time to time because sometimes I find they're just too green and they interfere too much with the rest of the graphics that we have on the screen. But I don't want anything that takes away too much from the trackers or from the timing screens either. So yeah, actually the one I have at the moment is possibly in danger of a copyright as well. So let's see how that goes. Team radio then for Leclerc.
And target gap to Sainz, we need 3 seconds. At the moment it's 1.0.
Okay. Target gap 3 seconds. I wonder what's the rationale behind that. I'm also wondering why Ferrari are leaving Leclerc behind Sainz if Leclerc is on the softer tyre. Strategy surely has to come into play a little bit at some point, but okay, all right. Well, we'll let it go. We'll let it go and see what they come up with. But yeah, that is the way it is right now, at least. Let's have a look at social media, see if there's anything crazy going on at the moment. Of course, Formula 1 is going to be the #1 trend at the moment on Twitter, isn't it? No, it's not. Ireland versus Tonga is #1. Well, I'm looking at the Irish trends. Formula 1 isn't showing up on the list. Brand LUFC dispatches. Yeah, there's Rashford. There's things going on in the world, that's for sure. Singapore Grand Prix. Hashtag Singapore Grand Prix. Check in on social, see what's happening there. Not a lot of overtaking in the race so far, but of course it is a street circuit, so that's perfectly normal for these tighter types of tracks. Now, Leclerc has dropped back a bit, so it's 1.4 seconds now. So he's been... Oh my god, the sparks in the background there. I thought there was a car gone into the wall for a second. A second. I need to remember how to speak English, don't I? Now, one of the reasons I was saying that the tires are so fascinating is when you look at the available compounds right now. So it's a little bit small on my screen. I'll see if I can still see this. Both of the Red Bulls, of course, have a fresh pair of soft tires because they just didn't make it into Q3 yesterday. So one of the benefits of not making Q3 is that you have additional soft tires. You can see they're using their hard tire at the moment, and they also have a new set of medium tires. So really, they can do pretty much anything they want now in terms of strategy for this race. And that's what makes them dangerous. Verstappen can run deep into this race. He can really get himself up around the leaders of the race and I don't know at what point he's going to plan to come in for his pit stop. And then if there's a safety car, which is very possible on a street circuit, although, as I mentioned, not too many crashes here this weekend with the exception of the Lance Stroll incident. But yeah, this is all a part of what makes me feel like Verstappen may just be able to eke out a win here. I certainly expect he's going to end on the podium, but if he can win this, that's, if he can win this, then maybe we need to consider starting Verstappen from the back of the grid for every race. Not that he started at the back today, but it's a significant handicap at a street circuit starting back in 11th place. Yeah, just my observation there. Just wanted to add that. Gasly setting the fastest lap at the moment, is he? He doesn't have the fastest lap. He has the fastest first sector. Keep an eye on those sectors, though. You'd never know what he could do here. Yeah, Verstappen, good point. Verstappen is also going to be able to push those tires like crazy. Carlos Sainz, team radio.
I could go forever at this pace.
He could go forever at this pace. Well, that's very good. Very, very good. His pace actually isn't bad. 140.5. It's a couple of tenths slower than the likes of Hamilton. Even Alonso actually at the moment. Ocon seems to be going fast-ish. And yeah, no, the Gasly lap didn't amount to anything. He did set the fastest first sector. But his second and third sectors were not so great. It's still a 140.4, which is pretty damn fast. Actually, if you're looking at the times on the screen, the majority of cars are running in the 140s at the moment. Amazingly consistent, actually. Not much drop off at all. Leclerc saying he thinks that Sainz is slowing down, and his team have told him, copy, understood. I don't know if slowing down is code for that he's going too slow and I want to get past him. I have no idea. It suggests a level of thinking that Ferrari strategists may not have. Well, at least last season it would have. I don't know if they've upped their game this season. No evidence of it, to be honest. Either way, I would say they haven't had too many clangers this year. Not too many, not as many as last year, but they just don't have the speed this year. I think it's probably gets magnified and perpetuated when they have a really fast car and they could actually do something with it, and then they absolutely screw up the strategy. So today would be a prime example of that now. If they screw up the strategy today, leading the race 1 and 2, we're going to know all about it, and I'll be the first person in line to point it out as well. That's for sure. I'm so paranoid about them at this stage. I don't even wear the Ferrari t-shirt before a race because I'm worried. If I wear team wear, I've jinxed them. I have ordered a new Ferrari top though, so it'll arrive any week now, I'm sure. Any week now. It must be nearly 2 weeks since I've ordered it. I need to check into that actually. Get my tracking out, make sure it hasn't gone missing. Never know, I could see one of the neighbours walking around with a new Ferrari jersey. No. That can't happen. Now, this is us on board here with Gasly. Gasly is tucked in just behind Hülkenberg, so it's 0.4 of a second. But Hülkenberg then is 0.7 of a second behind his teammate. Just looking at Verstappen, Verstappen's 1.6 seconds behind Ocon, so he is struggling a little bit at the moment. You can see the little gap as well. If you look down at the tracker, you can see that little gap there. Not so easy. Not so easy at all. Norris has really closed in on Russell here, 0.7 of a second, and Hamilton then has closed in on Norris, also 0.7 of a second. So that's a real battle now happening between the well, I was going to say the two Mercedes and the McLaren. All three of them are Mercedes-powered cars at this point, aren't they? They are indeed all Mercedes-powered cars. Oh, I just got a reminder on my phone that the Formula 1 is on. Well, thank goodness I didn't forget that. Thank goodness. Okay, so everybody's holding station at the moment. Okay, they've re-emphasized to Leclerc that he needs to target 3-second gap between himself and Sainz. Clearly, it's something to do with the teams behind them. Well, I would imagine it's something to do with the teams behind them. And yeah, we just have to keep an eye on that. Perez is still in 13th place. And he's quite significantly behind Lawson as well. It's 1.1 seconds the gap, so it's not even in DRS. The Red Bulls, I'm not going to point specifically at Perez for this round. Like, he shouldn't have spun it in qualifying yesterday, but whatever. But the Red Bull has really not been on the pace at all this weekend. It's been surprising, A certain part of me on Friday felt like, they're not taking it too seriously. They're holding off. They're sandbagging. Whatever, they want the competition to think that they've got a chance. Saturday, after practice 3 on Saturday, like, okay, well, there could be something here. And then, yeah, as soon as we got into Q1 and qualifying, you could tell they just didn't have that speed. And actually, speak of the Red Bull, and the Red Bull shall speak. Team radio for Max Verstappen.
Max, I will say it again. There is no merit at this stage in being within 1 second of Ocon. Sainz is still doing 40.3s. We've been here before. We've been hurt before. You might not think you are pushing Max, but the effective V ratio, as we've seen before, is very low.
Deep. Okay. Deep. Wow. They really went into a lot of detail there with Verstappen. I'm not actually sure what they're advising him to do there. So they're... Yeah, it's a slowdown message, really. When they're telling him there's no point. There's no point being within a second of Ocon. I suppose, yeah, degradation and everything else like that. The hot air coming out of the car. Singapore is a humid place as well, so that could be a part of it. It's more talking about playing the long game here, I think. Verstappen, I guess he's impatient. He wants results. He wants them now. he's dropped off a bit from Ocon actually. It's down to 1.7 seconds as well. So he must be listening. He must be listening. Kimmy says Sainz still has the fastest lap. Leclerc is falling back. I wonder why he said Sainz is slowing down. Yeah, I don't understand the radio messages there between the Ferrari team. Reading in between the lines, I feel like Leclerc is saying Sainz is going too slow for him. Now Leclerc's tires though are over. They're just about, I'd say, 21 laps old at this stage, because he's on used tires for this race. And now Leclerc sets the fastest lap, and actually now Sainz has set the fastest lap. A bit of a battle. This is going to get brilliant later on in the race. I really feel that this is going to get very good later on in the race. The battle between these two, and I look forward to it. I'm also kind of scared. And look, I said, speak of the Red Bull and the Red Bull shall speak. Well, speak of the Ferrari driver and the Ferrari driver shall speak. I'm not calling any of them devils. Here we go. Leclerc team radio.
So gap to Sainz in front, 2.3, and we need 5 seconds in 5 laps.
They need him to drop off by 5 seconds? Ferrari, I'm sorry, I'm not with you here. Russell is 2 seconds behind Leclerc. Is it to slow Russell? 2.5 and 2 is 4.5. They want 5 seconds. I don't know. I'm terribly Confucius here. I'm confused. I don't know what Ferrari are suggesting, but maybe this is why the Ferrari strategies don't work so well. You know what? It could be just me. I really struggled with the strategy that was coming through from Red Bull as well. So yeah, it could be just me. It's a Sunday. Lawson is running outside the top 10, unfortunately, so he's in 12th place. He's behind Gasly, who's in 11th, but Gasly is very close to the back of Hülkenberg here. In 10th place, Hülkenberg. Russell asking, let me know what's our best shot of winning this race. What do I need to do? And what do they respond back to him? Keep the pressure on, basically. Put him under pressure. And yeah, the tire wear on the Mercedes should be better, in theory. In theory. Yeah, okay. Yeah, a good point, Anne. Yeah, the loss in time going through the pit. This is a very long pit lane here in Singapore. Is very harsh here, and that's most likely why cars will be looking to do the one stopper here today. But I tell you, there will be somebody will try the two stopper, somebody, and as it stands, well, with Leclerc, he doesn't have another set of soft tires, so that's a major flaw here. I think it's the Red Bulls and the Alfa Romeos are the only ones that would do a two-stopper. Actually, Guan Yu Zhou has already pitted. I wonder if that was for damage. He's running in last place. He's significantly behind his teammate as well. It is a gap of 16 seconds. Oh, rain. No rain expected in the next 20 minutes. Don't know why they do that to us. Show us the rain radar. The rain radar. Where is Sargeant? Is in 16th. Just seeing a comment that he's crashed. If he's crashed, a safety car will be coming, but no, nothing showing up here yet. Nothing showing up. I'm just starting to see a yellow flag come up on our driver tracker. No. Nothing though. Nothing on screen at the moment. So I'll wait. I'll wait and see. Oh, yellow flag just coming up on screen now as well. Yeah, there is Sargeant. I thought it was a McLaren for a second, just because of the Gulf livery. Sargeant has crashed. Or turn 8. Debris on the track now because his front wing is off. Oh, bits of that front wing everywhere. Somebody could get a puncture from that. He's up and going again, but he's trailing. Oh, bits continue to fly off this front wing that's kind of trapped underneath his car. He could have a serious accident here if this goes underneath his tires. Here's a replay. He just gets it wrong coming through turn 8, and there's a lot of debris here. We could well see a safety car for this. He's going to need to change his front wing if he gets back. I'm really worried about this. It's just lodged there under the car. We've seen so many times in the past when that gets dislodged, the cars can jump up into the air basically because they're going over the debris. So far, okay. It hasn't happened yet. A lot of sparks and a lot of carbon fiber on the track. A lot of carbon fiber on the track. Oh, safety car, safety car. There we go. We have a safety car. Look, here's just a view of the crash. So he just overcooked it into the corner, and it's relatively innocuous as you can see, but it must be all the carbon fiber that has been put onto the circuit. But there we go. We have a safety car as a result of that. Sargeant has made it into the pit lane. Box, they're telling Sainz. So Sainz coming in. This is where the excitement kicks in. Now, can I get this thing off the screen? Yeah, go away you. There we go. Now, we're on pit watch. Pit watch time. Here comes Sainz. He's in. Russell is going to be coming in as well. Now, Ferrari, we need a good pit stop. This is the winning and losing of the race here. Hard tires going on. Off he goes. And here's Leclerc. Now, did Leclerc slow the rest of the cars coming into the pits? That's the question. He gets in just ahead of Russell. They're slow on the back. For God's sakes. No, it's a double stack. Okay, he's lost out. Verstappen hasn't pitted, by the way. Verstappen hasn't pitted. He's in second place right now. That's Verstappen right back into the race. I know he does have to pit again. So let's see how this plays out. Leclerc has lost out to Russell as a result of that. So I'm not sure. What was there an issue there with the Ferrari, or was he held because of traffic? Okay, the safety car telling Albon to move on, or it could have been Sargeant actually. Yeah, it's Sargeant. You caused this, Sargeant, in the first place. Sainz leads. Verstappen is in second. Russell is in third. Perez is in fourth. Norris is in fifth. Leclerc sixth. Hamilton seventh. Alonso eighth. Ocon ninth. Bottas 10th. Magnussen 11th. Gasly 12th. Piastri 13th. Lawson 14th. Hulkenberg 15th. Albon 16th. Zhou 17th. And Sargeant 18th. And significantly, Verstappen, Perez and Bottas have not pitted. All three of those cars were on the hard tyres. Oh, Alonso locks it up going into the pit lane, and he exits the pit lane and goes back in. I wonder if he's going to be penalised for going over the line there. Yeah, incident involving car 14. Alonso noted failing to follow the race director's instructions, crossing the line at the pit entry. It was Hamilton. It looks like it was Hamilton that actually blocked Leclerc from being released. And we have a team radio now for Leclerc.
What happened there?
We had to hold you for traffic.
Okay, confirmed. Ferrari had to hold him. It's so used to seeing Ferrari forgetting to bring out the tires or something crazy like that. And no, thankfully that wasn't the issue here, but it was actually Lewis Hamilton, by the looks of it, that caused him to be held. I think, yeah, for Alonso, he's going to get a penalty here, so that's not good. Big Alonso fan here, so not happy about this one, but it's nailed on basically. There's no way around this for him, I'm afraid. Sainz still leads the race, lap 21, here at the Marina Bay Circuit in Singapore. I'm not in Singapore. Two clues as to why I'm not in Singapore. Clue number one, I said I'm not. And clue number two, the background that I have on my little camera circle down here, it's daytime, and we all know it's actually nighttime in Singapore right now because the race is on there on the TV. So there you go. Now, we're waiting for the safety car to pull it. Surely they've cleared away the debris by now. Yeah, we've had confirmation that the safety car is going to be ending here soon. So we're going to get underway racing. Sainz is on the hard tyre versus Verstappen on the hard tyre. Now, Verstappen's hard tyres are 22 laps old. I think that's the big difference here. There's still debris on the track. What are you doing, guys? As long as it's not lizards. We've seen a few of those already this weekend. Let's not mention the Alonso incident. Sargeant is, let's say, 2/3 of a lap still behind the tail of the field. He's never going to catch them. He's going to have a long day after this. A very, very long day. Will Red Bull regret not pitting? Possibly not. It's very early in this race actually to be changing away from the hard tyres. So just Sainz, a very long team radio for Sainz is being broadcast at the moment. He wants to back up the pack so that Verstappen doesn't have any kind of advantage. It's not the worst strategy in the world, I suppose, but Verstappen all of a sudden is looking very racy. And you know what? If there's another safety car later in the race, Verstappen can make his pit stop then. So he's in with a fantastic opportunity here. Really is. Now we're waiting for the racing to get going again. Sainz is heating up those tires. Verstappen keeps driving up along beside him. Yeah, giving him the message. I'm here. I'm ready to go. When is he going to pull the trigger? Yeah, it looks like Sainz is off now. Yeah, he's put the foot down. Lovely on board actually with Verstappen here. We see it from his perspective. Off they go. And I don't think anybody's getting the jump on anybody right now. Leclerc will feel the most aggrieved, I suppose, out of everybody, considering what happened in the pit stops there. So Leclerc is down in 6th. Oh, this is painful. Everybody on hards now except Joe. He's on the medium. Yes, he is. And you're absolutely right. And Joe is the only driver that has pitted twice in this race as well. So I don't know what was happening there. Oh, Leclerc's going to lose another position here. He ran very deep into that corner. Yeah, and Hamilton is past him. Hamilton gets past Leclerc, so that's Leclerc now down into 7th. I tell you, I'm freaking annoyed with this now. Fernando Alonso gets a penalty. It's 5-second penalty. It's confirmed, yeah. We were pretty much expecting that. There's, I thought Russell had just gotten past Verstappen. Perez is under big pressure here. Perez is in 4th. He's under big pressure from Norris. Norris got very close to the back of him there. And here's Russell. Russell is battling with Verstappen at the same time. We have 2 Red Bulls being overtaken in the same frame. Oh my goodness. Can you believe that? I've never seen anything like that before. Well, but certainly this season with Red Bulls, they don't generally get overtaken. But 2 Red Bulls being overtaken at the exact same moment. Norris gets past Perez. Russell gets past Verstappen. And now Russell is on the charge. He is after Carlos Sainz. This could be Russell's race. Hamilton now is all over the back of Perez as well. And of course, Hamilton has got a lot of pressure here from Leclerc, who seems to finally have gotten his car back into racing mode. I don't know what was going on with him there on the restart, but it wasn't good. I have 2 team radios to play as well. I'm going to hold off for a little bit because Here's Hamilton versus Perez. Hamilton around the outside. Can he get that done? Oh, he gets pushed wide. Was there contact? I don't think there was contact. Hamilton does get past though. He gets past. And now it's Leclerc will be next up to try and get past here. Red Bulls, yeah, struggling big time here. They don't have the grip. They're on the 24 at this stage, 24 lap old hard tires versus the brand new fresh hard tires that everybody else has. So it's hurting them. It's hurting them. Now, where's Verstappen? Verstappen's 1.7 seconds already behind Russell, and Norris is coming to get him. And here is Norris. Norris down the inside got him. That's into turn 8 as well, isn't it? That's where Sargeant crashed. I think it is. Okay, he's up. He's up into third place now for Norris. Leclerc has lost out big time here. He's half a second now behind Perez. He needs to get past Perez ASAP because Hamilton's getting away from him now. He is indeed. He's getting away, running away with it. Go Lando, says Gimme. Yes. Go Lando. Where's Piastri? Piastri's in 12th, so he's just outside the points now. He's very, very close as well to 11th and 10th. Yeah, 5-second time penalty for Alonso is confirmed, so that's what he's going to get. And he's possibly already made his final pit stop. Now, here's a replay of Norris on the Red Bull. You know what? That was a chain reaction, so I was a little bit unfair there on Leclerc. Leclerc had to get out of it because Norris slowed so much as a result of his overtaking maneuver on Verstappen, and he had to back out of it. And there is Norris getting past Verstappen, and immediately it's a battle between... No, that was probably the battle with Perez, but I can confirm Lando is in third place now. He is running in third place. So he's 2.4 seconds behind Russell, though, who is not super close to him. And then, all right, here's the Carlos Sainz team radio. I heard it on the TV stream. I'm not exactly sure what they were saying once again, but let's listen in.
Russell 1 second behind. If you keep the pack bounced up, he cannot do 2 stops. Russell cannot do 2 stops.
Okay. All right. So it's trying to avoid people doing 2 stops, but he has DRS now. Russell does have DRS. He's 0.5 of a second behind. I've just seen the DRS, the rear wing open up there. Leclerc's past Perez. He's up into 6th place. He's up into 6th place. Haven't seen a shot of the action just yet for that move, but we might see it soon. Perez is claiming that Hamilton got an advantage off the track, but now Hamilton can't give the place back to Perez as he doesn't have Perez behind him anymore. So Hamilton's in 5th and Perez is in 7th. He's going to need to let Leclerc and Perez through if that is the case. And I tell you what, Alonso's 0.4 of a second behind Perez, so he will surely oblige and go through if you make a gap. Black and white flag for Magnussen, forcing another driver off the track. Not wise at a street circuit, but clearly that other driver hasn't ended in the wall. I wonder if it's Gasly, is it? Could be Gasly. Magnussen's in 10th, Gasly is in 11th. Now, we're not even halfway through this race yet. So yeah, Singapore's a long one, that's for sure. But it's been fairly good so far, and it's fully happening right now. Anybody could still win this race. Even Verstappen, he has dropped off a bit here, but that's because he's on the much older tires. His times now are 140.2 for Verstappen and a 139.4, 139.1, a 139.1 for the 3 cars in front of him. So yeah, gosh, running a second faster than him. Wow, he has really got his work cut out for him here if he's going to do it today. People asking for Lewis to get a penalty. Not sure what you'd give Lewis a penalty for. If he gained an advantage going off the track, I know there was already claims that he did that earlier in the race, but if he did truly on this move on Perez then I'm sure he will get a penalty for it. But oh, Verstappen now has just been overtaken by Hamilton as well. That is the Red Bull then down into 5th place, and Leclerc is next up behind him. And the Red Bull also still has to make a pit stop. So, oh gosh, I tell you, my prediction of Verstappen winning this race isn't looking great at the moment. I thought I was onto a winner there after the safety car when he was running in 2nd place, but he's dropping back. That Red Bull is slow. God damn, that Red Bull is slow. Did you ever imagine we'd be seeing something like that this season? Clearly, this track doesn't suit them. Yeah, just hearing now. So if Verstappen were to pit now, he'd come out in P18 because that's how tight the field is now, the pack. That's crazy. He wouldn't come out in P18 though, would he, behind Sargeant? Surely it'd be P17, but still. P17, P18 when you're that far back, it's not the world of difference. Now Leclerc, he's very close to Verstappen here. Is he going to get him into the first corner? No, he's not. But he has definitely closed that gap even further now to Verstappen. So this is number 10 versus number 1 on the circuit, to confuse you for 5th place. That's not number 10. Leclerc is 16. What am I thinking? What am I thinking at all? Joshua asks, did Verstappen pit? How come Lewis was able to overtake him? So Verstappen hasn't pitted. And there's Leclerc. Leclerc has gone through now, so that's Verstappen now down to 6th place. So the safety car came out, Joshua, and because both Red Bulls actually started on the hard tyre because of how far back they were, they didn't pit. And so they're running with tyres that are effectively 28 laps old at this stage, whereas everybody else is running on fresh hard tyres. And it's been making a big difference. So Red Bull still has to pit, both of the Red Bulls. And I'm not sure how they're getting out of this. The best solution for Verstappen and Perez right now is if there's another safety car. That would be what would help them the most. And that's a fact. That is a fact. Alrighty. Sainz leads then. Russell, 2nd place, 1.079 seconds. Speaking of Russell, here is his team radio.
Yeah, he's managing a lot. He's very slow. Guess he's trying to back us up.
Yeah, you're not wrong, George. That is the plan, according to Ferrari. Going to back you up so that you can't do a 2-stopper. Alonso, yeah, he's under big pressure here from Ocon. Alonso ran very wide there when he was trying to get past Perez, and as a result now he's feeling the pressure from the cars behind him. Just needs to get his head down and get back racing. Of course, he has a 5-second penalty coming as well. Any penalty for Alonso confirmed? Yes, San. Yes, 5-second penalty for Alonso's confirmed. That's because he lost, he basically lost control of the car on the pit lane entry, ran out over the white line, and then cut back in, and nailed on penalty. I dare say his penalty would have been much larger if he didn't get a pit stop. In terms of time, that is, not actual penalty. He probably would have gotten a penalty anyway because he did cross the white line when he went outside, not just coming back in. Here's an on board with Piastri. Piastri is 0.2 of a second behind Gasly. But Gasly does have DRS on the car in front of him. That's Magnussen. So there's a bit of a DRS train happening here. A whole bunch of these guys all have DRS. It's very tight in the midfield. In fact, it's very tight between most cars on the track right now. There's no significant gaps that I can see apart from Bottas back to Sargeant 17th to 18th, where there's a 27-second gap. The largest gap we have on the track right now, apart from that, is Perez to Verstappen. So Perez is 3.3 seconds behind Max Verstappen. George Russell thinks that these tires will go comfortably to the end of the race, especially the way that Sainz is driving at the moment. Yeah, you know, if they slow down the pace, it can only be an advantage for the Red Bull as well. That's the other thing you have to factor in here. A 140.2 the last time around for Sainz, and Leclerc a 140.4. Speaking of Max, comment here from Kimi. I think that Max must have an issue with his car, otherwise they'd have just changed his tires by now. Well, we've been hearing about the upshifts and downshifts all weekend, you know, in the gear ratios, so he's clearly not happy with those. I don't know, maybe his engine is coming towards the end of the cycle as well. So yeah, it's a tough one, but the other factor is if he does pit now, he comes out way down the track because the gaps are so close between all of the cars, except for Sargeant, of course. He should come out ahead of Sargeant. Yeah, you're right, Anne. Sargeant 27 seconds. Well, actually, he's cut it now. 26 seconds behind Bottas. He's closing in on him. Does he have enough time? Well, he has about 31 laps. We're at the halfway point. He's about 31 laps left now to catch him. So stranger things have happened, but it's not even for points. So it's purely for pride here. Purely for pride. Norris. Let's keep an eye on Norris. What's the gap between Norris and Russell at the moment? 1.7 seconds. It's 0.7 of a second actually between Norris and Russell. It's 1.7 seconds for Norris from the race leader. So this is very tight now between the top four. Leclerc now, who's running in fifth, is 2 seconds behind Hamilton. I'm going to keep an eye on that because I want to see if he can close in on him at all. It's going to make a big difference if he can. Now, Sargeant 11th. He's not 11th. He's 11 laps on his hard tires. Of course, he gets one extra lap on those tires because he pitted before everyone because he caused the crash that put the debris on the track. He didn't even get to benefit from his own safety car. Oh, Verstappen saying it's like driving on ice at the moment. Oh, big news. Fernando has just become the first driver in Formula 1 history to complete 100,000 kilometers under race conditions. A legend of our sport. Indeed. Indeed. That is huge. Let me just show you what Aston Martin have posted here on their Twitter feed. There we go. 100,000 kilometers under racing conditions. First driver in history. It's a big deal. Big deal, and he has a 5-second penalty to go with it. Congratulations, Fernando. There you go. There you go. Congratulations. And it's asking, is this still Ferrari's race to lose? Nervous times. It's a straight battle now. It's a straight battle between Sainz and Russell here. And Norris is definitely in this as well. Norris is in this. It's going to be all about tire degradation. As we know, the Ferraris aren't great on the tires. The Mercedes are good. I don't know about the McLaren. That is the one variable I'm not so sure about, especially with the changes that they've brought this weekend as well. If that has any impact to the tire deg. You know, they've brought new side pods and things like that, and they can redirect the airflow. Who knows? Who knows? So it's definitely Ferraris to lose at the moment. I do feel, though, the Ferrari has been fast all weekend. I do feel there's additional pace in the Ferrari if they need it. And it's a street circuit. That's also going to play into Sainz's favour here as well. He can make himself very wide. So, yeah, advantage Sainz right now. All the signs are good for Sainz. Ha 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 ha. Verstappen now 4.7 seconds behind Leclerc in 6th place, and no pit stop yet from the Red Bulls. How could I forget about them already? They're last week's news, 2 weeks ago. They're a fortnight ago's news. Kimi asks, why hasn't Sargeant lost his Formula 1 seat yet? Well, actually, you know what? That's a really good point. Russell just on the radio saying, I want to go for the win. Yeah, understand, we're on the same page, mate, says the team back to him. Of course he wants to go for the win, but maybe patience is the key here. Sargeant, yeah, there were rumors that Mick Schumacher was going to be replacing him in that seat. Well, what's the relevance of Mick Schumacher, I hear you ask? Well, apart from the very famous Schumacher name, I would say, well, Mick Schumacher is a reserve driver for Mercedes at the moment, and who provides engines to Williams right now? None other than Mercedes. So goodbye one pay driver, hello the next pay driver, in a sense, is what I would say. Very few pay drivers left in Formula One at the moment. Because Sargeant is faster than Verstappen at the moment. See, a lot of times, well, there you go. Sargeant is clearly taking over from Nicholas Latifi as being one of the greatest drivers of all time. 139.8 last time around for Sargeant. And he does have nice clear air in front of him now, in fairness. Now 140.0 from Verstappen. There you have it. Not only have we seen two Red Bulls being overtaken on the same straight at the exact same time in the same picture, we now have Sargeant lapping faster than Max Verstappen. What a day for Formula One. What a day for Formula One this is. But yeah, back to reality. That was the rumor a few weeks ago that it would be Schumacher taking Sargeant's place. But Sargeant, I don't know if it's fair to say that he's been quite solid for the last few races. I know he just put it into the wall a couple of laps ago, but he's still running. Latifi at least would have put a fair old dent in the wall and he'd be out of the race. Bit of action there between the Haas and the Alpine. That is Magnussen and Gasly. But nothing is impossible in Formula One. I actually think now the bigger question we have is the headache that Red Bull have given themselves by introducing Liam Lawson into the mix. Because what do you do about that? Daniel Ricciardo would want to get back into his seat fairly fast, if you ask me, because Lawson has been impressing. Where is Lawson at the moment? He's in 13th. Well, that's not super impressive right now, but he is going to still finish ahead of his teammate for this race, unfortunately, for Tsunoda. But what did they do? What did they do next season? Did they bring in Liam Lawson? Did they get rid of Tsunoda? Did they get rid of Ricciardo? Did they get rid of Perez? I think Verstappen's seat is probably safe enough. That's the one thing we can be sure of. Tsunoda's been given plenty of time in that car. Has he done enough? It's tricky. It's a very tricky one to figure that out. What would be my prediction? My prediction is that Lawson is in and Ricciardo or Tsunoda are out. Now, if you want to get really crazy here, now this one's very off the wall. Perez is out, Ricciardo takes his seat, and Tsunoda gets Lawson as his teammate. It just doesn't feel realistic enough, though. I know it's very off the wall, as I said. I don't know. I can't see Perez being replaced with Tsunoda. I can't see Perez being replaced with Lawson yet. Maybe that could be the long-term plan. And I'm just not convinced that Ricciardo is good enough. And maybe it was just the car for Ricciardo with the McLaren just didn't suit him, and the Red Bull suits him very well. But I don't know. And then, of course, you have this factor. I didn't even want to mention his name at all today. Helmut Marko, of course, who plays a very big role in determining who the next drivers will be in the both Red Bull teams, to be honest with you. And by the way, the AlphaTauri is for sale, per my understanding. Oh, Sergio Perez got it very wrong there. So that is another large factor that comes into play here. But Helmut Marko, he just needs to be kicked out of that team. You can't say the things he said. Like, Red Bull is such a big brand. You just can't associate yourself with that. He's done it too many times in the past. He's said similar things. It's enough is enough now. I think that's it. Red Bull, we should certainly scrutinize Red Bull for this, because I tell you, if it was any other big brand in the world and they had an employee that said something like that, they would be seen to be taking action. And I'm very surprised that Red Bull have been so silent on this. Really. Anyway, we'll move on. So Kemi says, I want Yuki to stay, even if it means Danny Rick misses out. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, well, Yuki Tsunoda is a very popular driver. I know that much. He's a funny driver as well. If my watching of Drive to Survive is anything to go by. Look, Anne, you're always asking the cutting questions. Was he ever liked? Helmet, sorry, Dr. Helmet. We're not entitled to call him by his correct prefixes after the way he's been acting. No, he's never been liked. But now we have a very, very good reason to really dislike him. Like, it's just prehistoric thinking, I would say. And he's completely wrong as well. He's completely wrong. You can't criticize South American drivers. Remember Pastor Maldonado, Ayrton Senna, like, what a driver he was. He was not lazy by any means whatsoever. Absolute crap that he's coming out with. Anyway, I've gone too far, and I've probably gone too far. A little bit of action going on there. There's a battle here between Alonso and Perez at the moment. It's 0.3 of a second now, the gap between Perez and Alonso. And Ocon then is a little further back. Fumiza says, no Verstappen not pit yet. You're absolutely right. He hasn't pitted yet. He's running in 6th at the moment. That's a 3-way battle there between the Alpine, Aston Martin and the Red Bull. And that is Ocon getting into the mix there with his former teammate Fernando Alonso, and it looks like he's going to get past Alonso here. Oh, Alonso won't be happy with that. Yes, he's true. Ocon is true. No, and that was all because Perez was battling with Alonso, and he allowed Ocon to get into the mix. Very good driving there for Ocon. Very good driving. Dr. Helmut isn't an employee of Red Bull, so they can't do a lot. He's a consultant, though, no? He must be getting money from them in some way, but you'd never know. Yeah, maybe it is something like that, which definitely suggests why they haven't been so vocal on him either. You know, like we've heard Christian Horner, blah blah blah, not really get into it. Remember Speedy Gonzalez, boy, he could move when he wanted to. Yes. yes, he could. Let me know when you think it's good to push. I should have 1 second of pace in hand. There's a message from Sainz. That's very exciting if that's true, Carlos. Very exciting if it's true. And actually, I have a team radio now for George Russell.
Sainz reporting he still has a second of pace in hand.
Surprised you didn't say true.
Okay, well, Russell has got the message. I'm sure Russell has some pace in hand as well, and he was the one that came on the radio earlier saying that he wants to go out and win this thing. Alonso now has fallen back to 9th place after being overtaken there by Ocon, and he's going to be rewarded by having a battle now with Gasly, so his former team. And it's a little bit amazing how the Aston Martin, their development hasn't been as good as other cars, that's for sure. They came into this season very, very strong indeed, but not so much right now. And Russell did say he was surprised that Sainz doesn't have 2 seconds of pace because he's basically going so slow at the moment, I think. Those two Red Bulls, 6th and 7th, no pit stop yet. When are they going to take their pit stop? That is the question, isn't it? What about the pit graphic? Yeah, we don't have a pit graphic for what happens if you're on the hard tire, but they seem to imply here that you can run from lap 30 to lap 62 on the hard tire. So yeah, I think they could pit at any point now for the medium tire, but they are perhaps holding off for the soft tire. And now here's Ocon on Perez, and he's through. He's through. That was really good. So Ocon, the big winner here of the battle that's happened between Perez, Alonso, Ocon, Gasly. And now Gasly is very much in the middle of this again. Now, can Alonso finally get past Perez? And here's Piastri. Piastri also in the battle. Piastri running in 11th. Entering the final third of the race and all to play for. Absolutely. Oh, and there goes Alonso now. He's gotten past Perez, finally. Well, he's going to have to chase down Ocon now. No love lost between those two, I'm sure of it. And Gasly very fast, making very quick work of Perez here, or at least he hopes to. Yeah, he's got the inside line. He'll get it done. So Perez has lost 3 positions over the last 2 laps. Box. Okay, so the first Red Bull to blink. And in comes Perez now. "22 laps left to go. Is soft tire the way to go?" Oh, that is. It's going to be medium. I can see it already. It's the yellow rim tire. So medium tires is what they're putting on here for Perez. Now, what's going to happen for Verstappen here? Are they going to bring him in straight away? Are they going to hold off? Are they waiting? Not sure right now. Not 100% certain. Russell 9/10 of a second behind at the moment. Norris is 1.1 seconds behind Russell. But I'll come back to what Anne said. It's all to play for here. It really is all to play for. Here's Verstappen into the pits. So I'm guessing he's going to go onto the medium tire as well. We'll have this confirmed in 1 second. Yeah, that's the medium tire that they're putting on him. So possibly they won't get to use their soft tire today. It's usually something they save for trying to set a fastest lap at the end. Look at him dropping down 14th place. Is Magnussen going to... Yeah, 15th place. And so it's Sargeant. He comes out in front of Sargeant. And Perez is behind Sargeant, actually. Tell you what, so this is the battle we wanted, especially you, Anne. This is the battle you want now. It's Sargeant versus Verstappen for 15th place. It's on. The gap is 6 seconds at the moment. Actually, speaking of 6 seconds, 6.4 seconds is the gap from Verstappen back to Magnussen. Verstappen has an awful lot of work left to do in these last 21 laps of this race. He should be significantly faster than everybody, though, with these medium tires. But that Red Bull has been... clunky at best this weekend. Not doing too well, is it? Not doing too well. Oh, can I make this World Cup thing disappear? Hadn't noticed, I've gotta say, until now. We shall see. We shall. Yeah, it's disappeared. It's gone. Fernando Alonso has just reported that his Aston Martin is undrivable. What's the gap? 0.8 of a second between Sainz and Russell. 0.8 of a second between Russell and Norris. 0.7 of a second between Russell and Norris. Norris is suddenly looking very interested in this race. I tell you, this is actually one of the tightest races we've had all season. Yeah, Alonso, this is undrivable. Just coming up on the screen here as well. There we go. Everybody running on hard tires at the moment except for Joe, Verstappen, Perez and Bottas, all running on medium tires. So once again, Alfa Romeo and the Red Bulls on the exact same strategy here. And interestingly, it's Guan Yu Zhou who's ahead of everyone else. Esteban Ocon. No. What's going on? Esteban Ocon? Is he... has he had issues? I see he's running in 6th at the moment. It's just popped up on my other screen here. Got to keep an eye on this. Hopefully it's not an engine failure or something. Has Verstappen pitted? Yeah, Verstappen has pitted and he's just set the fastest lap actually. That's not a huge surprise. Now there's Ocon. Okay, so he's stopped. He stopped. That's just before turn 2. I didn't do the no-nos any justice that he's just screamed out there. Now, could we have a safety car here? Don't know what's going on. Is it engine? What's happened here? Gasly is running in 7th. Leclerc is 1.7 seconds behind Hamilton for 4th and 5th at the moment. Yellow flag still in sector 1. So that was just before turn 2 that has happened. He's parked up. It looks dangerous if you ask me. Virtual safety car, they're saying. A virtual safety car. Yeah, top 5 have already gone past the pit lane, so they won't be pitting now. Maybe Alonso could pit. Why would he pit? Okay, Ocon is getting out of the car now, and this is sometimes what converts it into a full safety car once there's a driver on the track. So just gonna watch this. Still a virtual safety car, and he's out. Yeah. Virtual safety car. Albon taking advantage here, taking a pit stop. Just watching that they don't convert this into a full safety car, but right now it's still a virtual safety car. Still a virtual safety car. Yeah, there's Albon, so he has pitted. Not sure what advantage he's going to get from this. Here's an onboard with Esteban Ocon. Yeah, losing power. Lost drive, yeah. It's really on the pit exit almost. He's just had to pull in there. He just gets beyond the pit exit line, and yeah, he's losing the head there. Power unit PU124 is written on his display, so it looks like it's a power unit issue for him. Sainz is trying to build a gap at the moment, so he's going under his delta at the moment, and I assume he's just going to put his foot down at some point. Russell, it's Russell and Russell written on the screen. It's Russell and Hamilton. I can confirm they're double stacked. They're both in, and that will be the soft tire. No doubt that's the soft tire, is it? No, it's medium tire. Medium tire for Hamilton at least. I haven't seen Russell's tires yet, but they didn't have any soft tires left. Yeah, it's medium tire as well for Russell. Okay, so he has pitted. That puts Norris in second and Leclerc in third place. But those guys are going to be super fast now for the rest of the race. Super fast. So this could be a race-winning move here. We have, let me see, 17 laps left in this race as well. Yeah, virtual safety car is still out. And these Ferraris need to respond to this. They are in huge trouble if they do not respond to this. Alonso's coming in. They're going to wait 5 seconds before they work on that car. And then off they go. Soft tires for Alonso. Oh, yes. Soft tires for Fernando Alonso. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, no, they can't get the rear off. Oh, there's always one, isn't there? There's always one. Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. Oh, well. He wasn't in the running for the race, so let's not get too concerned about that just yet. But it is disappointing, though. It's disappointing. And the virtual safety car is gone. Okay, Ferrari have confirmed they're staying out. Leclerc's asked that they pit a lap later, but no, it's too late now. The safety car, virtual safety car, has been and gone, and that's it. They've missed their chance. They've missed their chance. Big play here from Mercedes. 4th and 5th as well. And just wait now. I'm waiting next time around with fastest lap. This is going to win the race. Russell is going to win. I think you're right, Anne. I think they should have gambled for the softs, but I just don't know they had softs left. That seems to be the biggest available. I'm going to check available compounds here. Where is Russell and Hamilton? Sainz, Russell. Yeah, Russell had no softs left, and Hamilton had no softs left. They only had used pairs. They're not pairs. Used sets of tires left. That's probably the reason, yeah, because the laps would suggest they could have done it on the softs. I think they could have, but they are going to be rapid now. Watching fastest first sector, fastest second sector from Russell. Look at all that purple coming up there on the screen, or pink coming up on the screen. Just waiting now for the third sector. Third sector, not the fastest, but he does get the fastest lap. So there's fastest lap now for George Russell. Norris also in big trouble here. Big trouble here for Norris. Do we have a yellow flag out there again? No, I don't think so. Just there's a yellow timer on one of my screens that has caught my eye, but nothing coming up on the official Formula 1 feed. So, yellow flag sector 3. Literally just come up now. Alonso stopped. Oh, he's driven straight on. He's back up and running. So that's okay. That won't be a safety car. Green flag, back up and racing again. Yeah, he's having a bad day of it now at this stage. Where is Alonso running? He's running in 17th and last. He's on the soft tires. Can he at least close down Sargeant? Where's Verstappen? Verstappen is in 11th, 0.3 of a second behind Guan Yu Zhou. Not enough laps left for the Mercs. Yeah. Well, second a lap could do it. Yeah, it's going to be tough. Definitely second place, I think, for Russell. He can get second place. Now, he did a 1:35.8 last time around, and Sainz did a 1:37.6. That's nearly 2 seconds, though. That's nearly 2 seconds. I'm not going to give up on them just yet. And obviously, clearly, it's because I wore the Mercedes t-shirt today. That's why they've found some speed. A reverse jinx, if there is such a thing. Carlos Sainz, team radio.
Sorry, please. I need faster if you can till the end.
And now they're putting the pressure on, as you would expect, because, as I said, yeah, they will be caught. Hamilton set the fastest lap now. These Ferraris are going to be caught, and indeed Norris is going to be caught by the Mercedes if they don't get the foot down a little bit more. Now, here's a replay. What happened to Alonso? He just couldn't get it stopped for whatever reason, and he got too close to the wall, so he had to reverse a little bit. And that's clearly what brought out the yellow flags down there, Sector 3. Passing isn't a yeah. Well, you've said it on. It's a street circuit. Passing is going to be a whole other kettle of fish here. Yeah, that just came up on the screen again about the Sainz radio message. How is the pace faster till the end if you can? Carlos, my good man. Carlos has he's led the race from start to finish pretty much. I haven't had to change the race leader at all. So that hopefully bodes well for the end of the race. We will find out in due course. Now we're getting close. 13 laps left. As I keep saying, this is traditionally a very long race, but there's been a lot going on in this race. A lot going on. Verstappen is up into 9th place now. 9th place, and he's 4.3 seconds behind Lawson, who's running in 8th. Oh, Lawson, I tell you, more trouble for Daniel Ricciardo. More trouble for Yuki Tsunoda, who's out of this race, classified 19th, only ahead of Lance Stroll. McLaren getting a little bit excited as well, running in 2nd place right now. 1.7 seconds is the gap between Sainz and Norris. Leclerc 3.7 seconds behind Norris. Russell 6.7 seconds now behind Leclerc. Last time around, Russell did a 1:36.6 and Leclerc did a 1:38.4. So that's 1.8 seconds slower than the Mercedes. Russell is very much coming for Leclerc at the moment. The podium, final podium position. 6.2 seconds is the gap. Got to keep an eye on that time now. Gotta keep an eye on that. That's where the action is going to be. Yeah, lap 50. Let me see. How old are the tires now that these guys are running on? Is there any way I can find that out? Not fine. Okay. Sainz, hard tires, 29 laps old. Norris, 29 laps. Leclerc, 29 laps. Russell and Hamilton have medium tires that are 5 laps old. Gasly, Piastri, Lawson, 29 laps old. Hard tires. Hülkenberg, 29 laps. Of course, well, everybody pretty much pitted behind the safety car. So the only exceptions here are the cars that didn't. Or the cars that pitted more recently for the virtual safety car. And of course, there was Verstappen. If Verstappen had held on just a little bit longer, he could have really benefited from that virtual safety car. But of course, there's no way he could tell that was going to happen. Pit incident involving Perez and Albon noted. A virtual safety car infringement. Not sure what that is about. Now, here's the nose cam for Russell, isn't it? Yeah, this is Russell. Turn 14. And Verstappen has already closed in on Lawson. It was 2 seconds, but here he is. So he's flying it at the moment. What speed is Verstappen? A 137.0 and a 136.4 for Hamilton. Hamilton is going even faster than his teammate. Verstappen is going pretty much the same pace as Russell right now. Lawson is making it difficult here for Verstappen to get past. Well, speaking about promotions in the Red Bull team, crashing to Max Verstappen, that will not help your career in Red Bull. I have no doubt. And Verstappen goes through. Okay. Lawson, he battled hard, but he didn't push too far. And I think that makes perfect sense considering what I just said. So that's Lawson then running in 9th place, which is fantastic. This AlphaTauri has really struggled to score points this season. If he can bring it home in the points, he'll do very, very well. He will do very well. There's a replay now of Verstappen getting through. He gets the move done. And right, back to the racing. This is Sainz here. Sainz is 1.5 seconds ahead of Norris still. And Norris 4.5 seconds ahead of Leclerc. Now, Russell to Leclerc, it's dropped under 3 seconds so far. Sean Oak, welcome back, Sean Oak. What have I missed? Well, what have you missed indeed? Pretty solid race actually from the Ferraris and from the Mercedes and McLaren to an extent. Piastri running in 7th actually. We had a minor crash earlier on where it was Sargeant ran into the wall and left a lot of debris from his front wing. He was fine. He got back into the race. He just had to change. But they brought out a safety car. Most people pitted, but the Red Bulls didn't pit because they had started on the hard tyre. And they've been kind of paying the price of that ever since. Then they eventually pitted for medium tyres, fell down the order. You can see Perez is pretty much where he was when he came out from the pit stop. Made up 1 or 2 positions. Verstappen, though, has made it up to 8th place. And now we have the big battle between Russell and Hamilton, who both pitted behind the more recent virtual safety car for Ocon's engine blow. And they are rapid at the moment. They're rapid. They're closing in on the Ferraris and the McLaren. And the race win is still in the balance with 10 laps to go. Very exciting race. Very exciting. Very tight. And I realised my summary was probably a little bit all over the place. It's just there's actually been a lot happening. It's not the usual, well, Verstappen got into the first corner in the lead and he's been leading the race ever since. Which is nice for a change, but this is the run of victories that's going to come to an end as well. I can't see Verstappen winning this, especially with the Mercedes now being faster than him. Sainz a 138.2, Norris a 138.2, Leclerc a 138.8, Russell a 137.4, so 1.4 seconds faster than Leclerc, and Hamilton a 136.5, which is over 2 seconds faster than Leclerc. So we can't rule out Hamilton either. Can't rule him out here, and you can see it's 0.7 of a second now, the gap between Russell and Leclerc. So Leclerc is in big trouble here. Now he's going to have to drive the widest Ferrari in the world. Yeah, Red Bull clean sweep is gone. Absolutely gone. They've won every race this season up to this point. And of course, Verstappen was on a run of, was it 12 races in a row? Now Leclerc needs to make himself very wide here. There was a yellow flag just for a second there in section 3. Don't know what was going on. Sector 3. Yeah. No, that yellow flag disappeared fairly fast, but all the delaying tactics that Leclerc can do here are going to help his teammate. Is very reminiscent of Alonso versus Hamilton back at the Hungarian Grand Prix 2 years ago. 10 in a row. Thank you, Sean Oak. 10 in a row. Yes, the record, of course, was Was it 8 in a row? 9 in a row, yeah. The Vettel record was 8 in a row, I think. Russell gets through. And Leclerc is trying to fight back, but he just doesn't have the speed. He just doesn't have the speed, and Hamilton is next up as well. There's going to be a fair battle here between Hamilton and Russell as well, if they have enough time. I would imagine Mercedes would say, no, we don't need that now. We need both cars to finish in the top 3, or even one of you guys to win the race. Don't slow each other down. So Russell has gotten through on Leclerc, and now he's pulling away. So there's no chance of Leclerc fighting back here. And Hamilton's monstering the back of this Ferrari now. No, it doesn't look good for the Ferrari at all. DRS wide open. Hamilton down the inside. And it turns into the outside of the next corner, but he's got enough grip. He's through. Okay, 9. All right, 9 was when Verstappen got the record in Monza. Okay, so that was previous record. Then was 8 with Vettel. He evened that, and then he took the record then in Monza, I guess. But that run is coming to an end. Verstappen now is in 8th. Piastri is in 7th. And there's about 3 seconds between those guys at the moment. So he might get Piastri before the end of the race. But yeah, podium position, win, out of the question, I think. Can't see the cars on the tracker. Gosh. This always seems to happen. I'm going to refresh it. This is going to look a little bit weird for a second. Now, I'm going to give that a shot. It'll take about a minute for the tracker to load back up. You can see the drivers are there. It's just I need to now go in parallel with my stream. Synchronicity in a world gone mad. Verstappen has gotten past Piastri, so he's up into 7th. And he's now 4.6 seconds behind Gasly for 6th place. But then Gasly is 20 seconds behind Leclerc. So I think his chances of 5th are gone. Hamilton team radio, let's listen.
How far's the gap?
7 seconds, Norris.
Is it too big a gap for us to catch?
Negative. Let's go for it.
All right, he's in a good position then, relative to fuel, so he can go for it. Great, Joshua. Glad it's back up and running, and thanks for letting me know. I sometimes don't notice these things. Anne says 3 Brits in the top 4. Indeed, there are 3 Brits in the top 4. 3 Brits in the top 5, a Spaniard and a Monegasque. There you go. You don't see Monegasques in the top 5 of anything, really. Not too often, at least. Just checking. I was about to ask, are there any other British drivers in this race? And of course, there's Albon running in 10th place. Although Albon, I believe, is running under the Thai flag. Could be wrong about that, but I think he is. I think he is. Where is Perez at the moment? In 11th. And he's 0.8 of a second behind Albon. So Perez could actually push into the points here as well. Now we've 6 laps left to go. Russell 3 seconds behind Norris. Norris 1.1 seconds behind Sainz. Actually, I would like to see Norris put his foot down and see if he can battle with this Ferrari as well. Norris and Sainz, of course, used to be teammates at McLaren a couple of years back. I think they're quite good friends. I think they are. Norris is up 2 positions from where he started. Gasly's up 6 from where he started. Piastri's up 9 from where he started. Alonso's down 9 from where he started. Tough day at the office for Fernando, especially after he does the 100,000 kilometers. So he was just phoning them in today, unfortunately. Well, it was going well for him for a large part of the race. It just kind of fell away there towards the end. But it's not over till it's over. Gap to Lando every lap. Okay, so he's asking for the gap to Lando every lap. Okay, that seems fair, I guess. It's 1.0 seconds now, 1.04. So just outside the DRS range. It's 9/10 of a second now. So Lando is after him. And this is exactly what we wanted to see. And Russell, of course, is after Norris. So Norris needs to get the foot down. Anybody can win this race still. There are 5 laps left. Anybody can win this race. It's going to be tough for Russell. It's going to be tough for Hamilton. Not least because Hamilton will have to get past his teammate. But Norris can do this as well. And Sainz, of course, he's in the main seat at the moment. He's leading. He can make himself wide here. Now, here's Verstappen versus Gasly. No, not this time around. I think he will get the move done, though, just looking at the tyres that they're running on. Very old, hard tyres for Gasly versus oldish, not so old, medium tyres on Verstappen's car. They're older than the tyres that Russell and Hamilton have, but we haven't seen a massive degradation on the medium tyres in this race. Team radio for Lando Norris.
Russell 1.1, Hamilton 2.2.
Yeah, I got it. I can see that.
Here, yeah, Verstappen. He's going to try around the outside here. Yeah, he's got it done. Yeah, a bit of a contrast there between Norris and Sainz. Sainz wants to know the gaps. Norris, don't be bothering me. Do not be bothering me. Top 4 are all line astern. It sounds like Sainz has backed himself into Norris, so Norris has DRS to defend. Has he really done that? Or is Norris closing in on Sainz? This is a tough battle. Now look at Hamilton. Hamilton's 0.5 of a second behind his teammate. Are the Mercedes going to battle with each other? Surely not, because then they'd be tripping over each other. There's the top 4 then, all running must be within 2.5 seconds of each other. Okay. Sainz is saying that it's on purpose that he's giving Lando DRS. He's going to have to be very careful. This is a dangerous game now Sainz is playing. He's going to have to conserve a bit of battery just to defend in case Norris tries to come past. Oh, the nerves. Oh, the nerves. Can you feel it? Whew. Haven't felt this in Formula 1 for some time. All 4 cars now going through there. It's an amazing sight, actually. This is some battle. So Sainz has been saying that he's slowing them down on purpose. Oh, well, vote to try. Oh, yellow flag. Driver of the day, by the way, I was going to say. The driver of the day, I'm sorry, for me, the driver of the day is going to be whoever wins this race. Sainz has been fantastic so far. Yellow flag. I see Albon dropping down the order a little bit. I wonder if that's... Oh, it's a green flag again. He's dropped down another position to 14th now. Verstappen is in 6th, 13 seconds behind Leclerc, so that's probably as far as Verstappen can go in this race. Perez is in 10th. He's 0.4 of a second now behind Lawson. So unfortunately for Lawson, I think he's going to lose another position, but he is still going to be in the points, which is important, I think. Apparently Sainz has come on the radio to say that his tyres are finished. They need to go a little bit further. Oh, here's George Russell now on Lando Norris. Oh, wow, look at the placement of the car from Norris. I think that was an illegal move, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. That was a very late move. And that's allowed Sainz to pull away a bit there. What is that? That's definitely given Sainz a bit of a gap. Both Mercedes with DRS wide open now behind. 3 laps to go. Oh, I tell you, this is bad news for Ferrari. This is bad news for Ferrari. If either of these Mercedes can get past Lando Norris, I think Carlos Sainz is toast. Now, Leclerc Team Radio, I don't know if I even want to listen to this.
I'm just trying not to put it in the wall.
Copy that.
Alright, well, he's struggling on the tyres, and his tyres are the exact same age as Sainz's tyres, so you can only imagine what Sainz is going through at the moment. So with the camera, like literally just the rear onboard here with Norris, they switched away from it. It's a great camera angle. At what point does Hamilton decide to try and get past his teammate? You can see the temptation. The temptation is there, and that could really cause them to be slow as well. I think Toto would be furious about that. I think he'd be absolutely furious about it. Oh my goodness. 2.5 laps still to go. Russell very close to the back of Norris's car here. Oh, the Mercedes couldn't take advantage of DRS there. Something is being investigated. It came up on the screen, but I tell you, I was too busy looking at the cars, so I have no idea what they said. Seven seconds now between Leclerc and Verstappen. Kalilo asks, how long for terming this race? Not sure I understand what you're asking. Now, Norris is back in DRS range of Sainz, which is 50% good news, 50% bad news for Sainz. Sainz he's playing a very fine tactical masterclass at the moment, and if he wins, it'll be amazing. If he wins, this is one of the performances of the season from a driver. Like the pressure he's under now to be able to manage this, to have the awareness to back up Norris onto the Mercedes. Okay, Hamilton now saying George needs to pick up the pace if he can. We have 1.5 laps left to go here. 1.5. Oh my goodness. Will Hamilton try to overtake his teammate? That's the question. Hamilton's getting annoyed now. He looks very close to the back of Russell's car there now. Now Russell equally looks very close to the back of Norris's car here. Now what are they going to do? Russell is going to try to... No, he can't get close enough here. Can't get close enough. Sainz is gamifying it. He absolutely is, Sean Oak. This is super impressive from Sainz right now. 0.7 of a second is the gap between Sainz and Russell. 0.4 of a second between Norris and Russell. And 0.4 of a second between Russell and Hamilton. It's so tight. This is very tight at the moment. We're on the final lap. Can Sainz just manage this a little bit longer? I tell you, if he does it, it'll be phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal if he does this. Oh, Russell has crashed. Russell is in the wall. Unbelievable. Russell is in the wall. Can you believe it? Norris, though, 0.9 of a second behind Sainz. Hamilton, 0.6 of a second behind Norris. That's Leclerc up into 4th, Verstappen up into 5th. Yeah, Russell screaming on the radio. I don't know what happened to him. He's crashed into the wall though. But here's Sainz coming around the final corner. Sainz is going to win it. Sainz is going to win. Sainz wins. Yes. Yes. Ferrari have broken the Red Bull curse. Norris P2. Yes, Kalilo. Norris P2. Hamilton P3. Leclerc is not confirmed yet. Oh, Leclerc and Verstappen. It's so tight. Leclerc gets it. He's fourth. Verstappen is fifth. And Gasly will be the next one around. Yeah, I'm surprised that there's no safety car or anything being pulled out here, considering what's going on with Russell crash into the wall. We haven't seen a replay of this yet. Gasly has finished. He's in 6th. Piastri has finished in 7th. Piastri, let's see if Perez is 8th. Then Lawson to come around in 9th. Just waiting now for that to be confirmed. Lawson is 9th. And the final points position for today is going to go to the Haas. It's Magnussen in 10th place. Albon is 11th. Confirmed. But that's it. Sargeant and Alonso having quite a race. And it's over. Everybody has finished. Alonso is last of the runners at the moment. Kimi says, I feel bad for Russell, but it was an exciting finish. Very exciting finish. What the heck happened to Russell? I'm waiting to see a replay of that. Kalilo says, yes, it's very good future for him. The driver, yes, for Norris. Yeah, Norris is good. Good. He's a great talent. And if McLaren can get their act together. And says, can hear commentary in the background, quite faint. Maybe that was the reason for a strike warning. I don't know. Okay, driver of the day. Carlos Sainz got driver of the day. There's an onboard with Russell. Oh, the fire. There's fire in his brakes. He's just been sitting there for far too long. Far too long. They haven't shown us a replay yet. Okay, now this is going to be loud. Here is George Russell's reaction to his crash.
No! No!
And then Carlos Sainz team radio.
And P1, baby, P1.
Vamos! Vamos, Fred! Vamos, Ricky!
What a mega job you did there. What a smart race.
You know what? This is my first smooth operation in Ferrari. Smooth operator.
Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, well, we were spared from it being very lovely today. It's a smooth operator from Carlos Sainz. Oh, absolutely. That was... My God, he is schooling that Ferrari team on strategy today. That's for sure. Oh my goodness. What a race from Carlos Sainz. You can only imagine what Leclerc is thinking right now as well. Because that's additional points for Sainz in the Drivers' Championship. Because he was already 6 ahead of his teammate coming into this. There he is. He's out of the car now. He's won. Another flag to fly in Maranello. Absolutely. Yes. Sainz has just been on fire this weekend. Yeah, well, metaphorically on fire. For once, the Ferrari isn't actually physically on fire. Hey, there were a few instances last season. It's a smooth operation. Yeah, that's really good. Still no replay of what happened to Russell, by the way. I've seen some photos of him crashed into the wall, but I'd seen that earlier on already. No points for Russell, nor Alonso. Okay, yeah, there's no... Was it the tires gave up? It's reminded me a little bit of, when Hamilton went straight on in Baku a couple of years ago, when he was battling for the race win against Verstappen, I think it was. That time, was it? No, it was Perez, wasn't it? It was Perez. I wonder if Sainz sings that in karaoke. I think we know Sainz definitely sings that in karaoke. He'll be singing it tonight anyway. Get out your Ferrari kit. I will get it out for the next race and they're never going to win again. Yes, well, the curse of the team where it did strike, Mercedes, yeah, Russell ended up in the wall on the final lap. I tell you. There's Russell. He's into he just gotten into the safety car. He's okay, but maybe he hit the wall with too much force, and it just shows you can never give up. They're saying for Kevin Magnussen. Yeah. Magnussen finishes in P10. All right, let's do a rundown then of the order before I sign off. So it's Tsunoda finishes in 19th. Out of the starters, of course, Stroll didn't start. Ocon 18th, Bottas 17th, Russell 16th. So none of those guys finished the race. Not sure what happened to Bottas, actually. Alonso then finishes in 15th and last. Sargeant in 14th. Hülkenberg in 13th. Zhou in 12th. Albon in 11th. Then into the points, the top 10. Magnussen finishes in 10th place. Lawson finishes in 9th. Fantastic result for both of those guys. Perez finishes in 8th. Piastri finishes in 7th. It is Gasly then in 6th place. Verstappen, 5th place for Verstappen. And he was just 0.2 of a second behind Leclerc in the end. So Leclerc's tires were really in big trouble there. So Verstappen 5th, Leclerc then in 4th. Hamilton is 3rd and he has the fastest lap. Norris in 2nd and Sainz in 1st place. There you have it. Race of the season so far, was it? It was pretty good. I think we've had one or two other really good races this season, but no Red Bull winner for the first time this season. No Red Bull winner. George Russell is the type of guy to crash on the last lap. He definitely is. He's made that blatantly clear. Thanks again. Thank you, Kimmy, for joining. Thanks everybody for joining. I'm going to go and sign off now and celebrate this Ferrari victory. And let's see what Sainz is saying here on the interview. An incredible feeling, an incredible weekend. I want to thank everybody at Ferrari for this turnaround after a tricky start of the season. We brought home a P1 that I'm sure will make all of the Italians happy today. Given our limitations with tyre wear, I knew it would be a long final stint on hards. It worked to perfection. We gave Lando some DRS to help him, and we got the P1. I felt under control, to be honest. I had the headspace to do what I wanted to do. Wow. Yeah, really impressive drive. Really impressive. Come on, Ferrari. All right. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell as well to be notified of future videos if you're joining us on YouTube. If you're joining on the other social media platforms, do the same thing or the similar thing. Hit that like button, that thumbs up, whatever it's called. And I will speak to you soon. Have a good one. Catch up on the rugby. Good luck to the Irish. Yes, good luck to the Irish in the rugby. And good luck to everybody in the rugby, but especially the Irish. That's what I should say. Next race back to the Red Bull, win every race. Possibly, Sean Oak. Possibly. More than likely, actually. More than likely. Thanks, everybody. Speak to you.